What goals or dreams do you have a deep desire to achieve, but for some reason you keep struggling to make it happen? Think about that for a second. Today, we aren't just going to talk about self-sabotage. We are going to actively coach through it. Grab a pen and a journal, because this is a mini coaching session just for you. I'm Kelly Reyes. I'm a certified coach with a trauma-informed background in neuroscience training. In my practice, I help people understand that self-sabotage is simply when we say we want something and then go about making sure it doesn't happen. Today, we are going to look at your brain's hidden roadblocks, identify your triggers, and build an actionable plan to stop self-sabotage in its tracks. And for my fellow Christians watching, stay until the end for a special segment on how we can align this coaching work with biblical truth. The first step in any coaching framework is awareness. You cannot change what you do not acknowledge. Psychologist Gay Hendricks identified something called the upper limit problem. We all have an internal thermostat that dictates exactly how much success, love, and happiness we believe we are allowed to feel. When things are going incredibly well, maybe you just made a massive career leap or entered a healthy relationship, your brain might panic and think, this is too good to be true. So you unconsciously sabotage yourself to drop back down to a level of happiness that feels familiar to you. From a trauma-informed perspective, we have to look at this with compassion. These self-sabotaging behaviors were likely coping mechanisms that helped you survive a previous situation, like a toxic relationship or a traumatic childhood. They served you once by keeping you safe or in control, but they are harming you now. I want to ask you a powerful coaching question right now. How are your self-sabotaging behaviors actually serving you in some way? Are they protecting you from the fear of failure? Are they keeping you in your comfort zone? Write that down. Now, we need to assess exactly how are you self-sabotaging. It's not always obvious. See if any of these resonate with you. The impostor phenomenon. You are a high achiever, but you feel like a fraud. Because you can't internalize your success, you over-prepare, overwork, or procrastinate because you don't trust your own competence. Relationship sabotage. You struggle to trust your partner. Even without evidence, you overanalyze every delayed text message, or you constantly seek reassurance by asking, "Do you still love me?" out of a deep fear of abandonment. Living in the zone of excellence. You are highly skilled at your job, but you feel totally unfulfilled. You stay stuck here because stepping into your true passion, your zone of genius, feels too risky. If you are nodding your head, take a moment to journal your specific triggers. What are the situations or even the tones of voice that make you want to act out, shut down, or procrastinate? Here's where the coaching really happens. We are going to move from awareness into action. First, we use tools based on cognitive behavioral therapy, or also called CBT, and dialectical behavioral therapy, DBT. When you notice a trigger, I want you to practice mindfulness. Pause. Do not judge the thought, and just get it out of your head onto paper. Then, we cognitively restructure it. Identify the limiting belief, acknowledge you want to release it, and create a positive affirmation to replace it. Next, we need to get SMART goals, specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. Often, we sabotage ourselves by setting vague, massive expectations that guarantee we will feel overwhelmed and procrastinate. Break your goal down into the smallest possible step you can take today. Finally, I want you to take 5 minutes today to visualize. What would your life look like without self-sabotage? What would change? And what would you be able to achieve? Set a daily intention to live that life. For my fellow Christians watching, I want to add a spiritual layer to our coaching today. When we talk in neuroscience about rewiring or limiting beliefs through CBT, the Bible already gave us the ultimate framework to do this in Romans 12:2. Do not conform to the pattern of this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind. God actually calls us to actively restructure our negative thoughts and align them with His truth. When you hit that upper limit and feel overwhelmed by the impostor phenomenon or the fear of failure, remember 2 Timothy 1:7. For God has not given us a spirit of fear, but of power and of love and of a sound mind. Self-sabotage is rooted in fear and anxiety, but a sound, regulated, and peaceful mind is your inheritance. And finally, stepping into your zone of genius isn't just about career success, it's about your divine calling. Ephesians 2:10 says, "We are God's handiwork, created in Christ Jesus to do good works, which God prepared in advance for us to do." Do not let the enemy use self-sabotage to keep you playing small when God has specifically equipped you for greatness. The final step of coaching is accountability. You don't have to stay stuck in these uncomfortable patterns that aren't working for you. By using trauma-informed awareness, neuroscience-backed action, steps, and faith, you can break this cycle. For your homework, I want you to go down to the comments right now and write one smart goal or one specific action you commit to taking today to reduce self-sabotage in your life. I'm Kelly Reyes. Thank you so much for doing this work with me today. Hit that subscribe button if you want more coaching videos like this, and I will see you next time.